Argentina top. England ahead of Belgium and Brazil, the two teams they're facing in this window in friendly action. Wembley at Saturday night against Brazil coming up. Ian Darke still with us. What are you looking forward to from England here, Ian?
Well, it's getting very close to the European Championships themselves, and I think he knows 8 of his starting lineup, I think, for when the tournament starts in June. But I think there are places maybe up for grabs. We don't really know who's going to start on the left of the attack. It's probably one of 4 players. Who is going to play in midfield with Rice and Bellingham? So that's another thing they need to sort out. Brazil, of course, as we know on this programme, have been in a little bit of a hole, haven't they, in that South American group? They're not really the same kind of charisma about Brazil as there have been about editions of that team in the past, the famous 5 times World Cup winners. So England at home at Wembley, I think we just want to make a little statement, but I don't think Harry Kane is fit for the game. So there may be 1 or 2 issues for England as well.
Yeah, definitely. Who would you play in the middle with Rice and Bellingham, Ian?
I think I'd tend to go, with maybe a bit of a left field choice and bring Ross Barkley, who's been terrific this season for Luton Town. We've not got a lot of great central midfield players. I think I'd be tempted maybe to just have a look at him in these 2 games and see whether his new maturity now, his new energy, the talent that he's always had now coming out, whether he could flourish in that England midfield 3.
Meanwhile, LA, there's the Brazil side of things. Obviously, they're going to be missing some players here. So we're going to get a look at how they look without some of their key players, including Neymar.
Oh.
Is that a loss?
Well, I will tell you this about Brazil. Currently where they are in the World Cup qualifying is embarrassing from Brazil's perspective, and certainly historically embarrassing. And I don't doubt that they're going to make the World Cup. But they're going to have to grind, and they're going to have to get results in a very sort of un-Brazil-like style of play. Because this is not an explosive team. This is not a dynamic team. And I'm talking about Brazil here, right? And so I'm talking about the standards to which that they have set for themselves and how they're evaluated. And those standards right now are nowhere near where this team is. This team right now is trying to figure out who they are offensively, what they are through the midfield, how they're going to defend, how they're going to attack wide areas. Long gone, and I mean long gone, are the days of Roberto Carlos on one side and Cafu on the other side. Long gone are those days. Long gone are the days of Ronaldo playing up top. If not Ronaldo, Romario. If not Romario, Bebeto. If not Bebeto, Careca. If not Careca, Zico. Long gone are those days. Long gone are the days of a right back like Carlos Alberto. It's just not happening. Dani Alves, no, it's not there. And so how do they go about being Brazil without being Brazil? Without having the player personnel available to be Brazil? And so there has to be a change in the mindset as to how they approach games. If indeed this is a team, never mind this game against England, if indeed this is a team that is going to continue to push forward and have enough to get into the World Cup. I imagine that they will. I don't think that should be in question. But now you have a new manager in place. You don't quite have a leadership in place for this team. A lot of young guys. Who's leading this group? A lot of questions for Brazil, not only in the England match, but as they face forward and spin it forward into Copa America and then World Cup qualification. A lot of questions for Brazil to figure out.
Just going back to Ian's point on Ross Barkley, Stevie, your facial reactions looked as though you're not ready to see him raw for the 3 Lions.
No, listen, we've all been talking about how Southgate doesn't grab the bull by the horns and tries to go forward. I mean, Ross Barkley, at the end of the day, is having a great season with Luton, but he's just he starts things off for Luton. You know, he's not threading the needle and creating scoring chances or anything like that. He's getting on the ball and he's starting things off. Well, you've already got somebody to do that. You've got Declan Rice there. That's what he'll be doing. Bellingham will be getting in the box. Why would you not have somebody like Foden in with Bellingham and Declan Rice and take that next step? Instead of the typical Southgate England of, OK, let's score and then we'll just keep it tight and then we'll be solid. And how about you go and play football? Ali's just been talking about the Brazilian greats of old the way they played the game. Why don't England try and play the game like that? Why don't they try and get on the front foot and not score the first goal, but go and score the second goal and then the third goal? And then you can do what Brazil did. All the showboating and the step-overs and all the other stuff. No, I think Barkley's a step back. I don't think it's a step forward. I think England have to take a step forward now and dominate teams for 90 minutes. And to do that, use the talent you've got in the likes of Foden and not play it safe. Because that's what Barkley would be for me, Darke. Playing it safe.
Well, I think he's a changed player, and I think he deserves another go. Let's have a look at him and see how he gets on. I think, what are you going to play, Jordan Henderson in there? I don't think so, really. Having played just a few games for Ajax and not won many of them, and he's got a bit of a knock as well. Up front will be interesting, won't it? Because there's a race between Ollie Watkins and Tony of Brentford to be Harry Kane's number 2. Most of the smart money's been on Watkins, but I think Tony, Southgate's a bit of a fan of him because he can join in the play as well in the way that Kane can when he plays too, can play and join in attacks from deeper positions as well as get goals. So I think it's interesting. I mean, I hear what you say about Foden, but I think Foden's going to get in the team anyway. Now, I'd say one thing about Phil Foden, and that's this. For all the hype and however gifted he is, I can't remember an England game yet where he's really got the game by the scruff of the neck and shows what he does every week with Manchester City.
Can I come back to that?
Yeah.
Ian, I think that's because of the way England play and where they play him. You know, Foden, when he plays either as a false 9 or in that middle, is absolute dynamite when he plays there with Manchester City. He's never been given an opportunity. And I think it's because of the way that Southgate plays the game. He's never been given an opportunity to get in those little holes in and around, in behind the opposition midfield and in front of the back 4. That's what I'm talking about, taking a step forward. Play him where he's going to get the ball. He doesn't see the ball enough when he plays for England. That's why he doesn't... When you think of Phil Foden with Man City, you think of this guy, mercurial left peg, getting in behind, scoring goals, creating... You don't think that with England. In all honesty, you think of Foden and you're like, is he actually... Does he feel as though he's one of the first on the team sheet with England? I'm not so sure.
Here's the thing that I think is critical to what you just said there, Stevie. The mindset of England and this playing on the front foot and taking advantage that the talent that you have available, that is elite talent, may just be the difference between England actually winning one of these competitions or just coming close. The willingness to actually take a chance going forward. And taking a chance because you have the players to do so. Not because you're blindly hoping that things are going to happen. No, but because you have elite talent available in critical positions, in key positions in the attack, in dynamic positions in the attack. You have elite talent. Use it. Just free these guys to do what they do. And that may just be the difference between, we're just so close, or actually winning the whole thing, and maybe just coming home.
Okay. Had to end it there, didn't you?
Maybe it's coming home.
Had to drop that one there.